Hello again, welcome back to another exciting episode of D.I.Why. I'm Dave, and this month, because it has dragged on slightly, I've been attempting to find out if I can turn a load of free, reclaimed, knackered looking plywood into a free workbench and tool storage for all of my tools. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Did it turn out to be a good idea? Let's find out together. Also, find out what happened when me and the missus attempted to screw together some IKEA PAX wardrobes. As usual, I didn't read the instructions properly. It's all coming up. Let's do it. And our survey says it'll do. Now it's all mic'd up, ready to cut. Saw's over there. Can't get to it. Gotta get this sorted out. Lack of space. I might as well cut a load more, and then you can catch me up when I assemble. Right, so cutting's done. I might as well lay these out on the floor before I go to any effort cleaning up the wood, and just make sure it fits together in the same manner as my scribbly drawing. So let's hope so. And that's pretty much how the wardrobe building video went.
Oh, I wasn't listening. Oh no, it's breaking. Oh, it's all broken.
These things are baggy.
I guess that's why they put it together, stood up. Has yours come out as well?
Yeah.
Right. Is that side still? Oh no, it's not together.
Oh, okay. Apparently we should have laid it on its front and lifted it up that way, not lift it up side to side.
We don't have room to do that.
And that wasn't on page 4, it's on page 19.
Okay, but page 19 then.
Okay.
Well, this is exciting, isn't it?
Did you think it was going to be exciting?
I thought it was going to be pretty simple.
To be fair, so did I. But The look on your face is great.
What?
Just completely giving up on life.
Well, I don't know what to do anymore. It won't go in the holes.
Do you wish you were building it with your dad instead?
Yes.
He wouldn't have fucked it up.
No. You would have read the instructions. Oh look, it's flawless. I've now got to decide how tall I want my top shelf that I'm never going to be able to reach.
It doesn't matter, it'll fall out anyway, so...
Why are you predicting doom?
No reason. Damn it. Okay, I'm still determined. Let's try it again. Why? Okay, so this is roughly what we've ended up with. So, got some big wheels roll better. Basically, gonna go some 3x2 along the bottom. Make a framework, make it nice and steady. The wheels will screw directly into the 3x2. The centre compartment here is going to contain 2 storage tubs each. Ideally, I would have had them all separate so I could pull them out as drawers, but I didn't have enough timber, so at least if I go stacked too high, the most I will ever have to take off is 1 to get to 1 underneath it. So what else we've got is vertical compartments at the end. For these, I've got a couple of drawer slides. I'm going to pull out hanging tool storage and possibly on this side pull out racks for screwdrivers, things like that. So hopefully all of the big tools that I don't use very often will live in here, and I can just take the boxes out and take them wherever I need them.
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea.
I've only just started and already I wish I'd just bought some plywood. I don't know how people make things out of reclaimed anything. It seems an absolute nightmare. What I would have done if I'd not got the free plywood is done a drawing, measured everything up, gone to B&Q or other DIY stores are available. They have a gigantic saw. I'd have given me cutlass to get everything cut down, and I could have skipped all of these steps, had perfectly cut things, just screwed them together, got on with my life. But because I'm tight, I just couldn't say no to something free, and now I'm paying the price. I'll have to edit out all of my complaining. But honestly, if I make anything that looks any good out of this, I'm going to be amazed.
For the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. I will stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Down, down.
Right. Now let's see what we can do about it. Safety first.
I'm just stuck here in a dream.
Oh yeah. Not looking as pretty as I'd hoped. I've got to make the base put the wheels on, so I'm going to have to flip it up. But I'm not brave enough to do it without any kind of back on. I'll just knacker it, so I'll have to put a corner brace on. Temporary. Hey. I'll do it. Right, if this don't work, I'm buying a workbench. Well, doesn't look terrible. Well, at least not from your camera angle. I'm not brave enough to show you any close-ups. Right, let's try and get it somewhere I can work on it. Starting to look really tall. I'm hoping I haven't gone wrong somewhere. It may be a little bit tall. Okay, so it's a few days later and a few things have happened. The major thing which I absolutely had to make happen was I took everything apart so that I could cut down some of the boards to make the overall height of the unit about 5 inches lower overall, which for me is much more workable height for a workbench. While I had it all in pieces and I was redoing a couple of the cuts, I thought I might as well redo some more of the cuts, because on closer inspection some of them were not quite as straight as I was hoping. So I screwed down a straight piece of wood to guide my saw and get perfectly straight cuts. So, well, by some of the cuts, what I meant was every single cut was wonky. So I've redone every single cut, reassembled it. It's lower than it was before, which is pretty nice. But one thing I had to do to get it to this height is remove the 3x2 framework which it was sitting on, which the chunky wheels were screwing into. So if I spin this round, I'll show you the solution I came up with instead. I've added some chunky wood into the bottom, screwed straight through and through each side, and the wheels are screwing into this. So hopefully that will give us the strength we need for it not to collapse over time. I've also, instead of the big angle brace you saw when I last constructed it, added some 3x2 sections in here. That just gives it a lot of stability, takes any flex out of it. And I've just cut down some 2x4s, screwed them in here just for a little bit of extra strength on the shelving. I figured it might as well be as strong as I can make it, and I'm not intending to put a back on it, so this is about the best thing I could come up with. Now if I spin it round to the other side, I've also added a hanging tool storage, which I'm pretty pleased with. It should make future jobs a lot easier. I've got measuring and cutting over here, I've got whacking and stabbing over here, so it's all pretty organised. Now next up on my list of things to do was going to be some more filling, some more sanding, some more painting, and then a final coat of varnish, just to get this black knackered plywood looking as good as I can make it look. But it's currently 1 degree inside the shed, and I think that whatever I put on it isn't going to dry until summer. So I think I'm just going to skip that, come back to it another day. I'm going to go straight to fitting the worktop and fitting the drawer fronts. So let's dive in.
Work it just a little bit. 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 Work it. Work it just a little bit. 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 Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it just a little bit. Work it just a little bit. Work it just a little bit. Work it just a little bit.
After a load of screwing boards down, I was almost finished. All I had to do was take this piece of wood, draw a line across this last board, chop it down to size, and then assemble a bit more screwing. But then my brain had a little idea. And now I've got more work to do. So the idea my brain had was, what if this board went all the way across? What if this piece screwed onto the bottom? And then what if I hinged it so that I folded over like this? Then when I'm working from the front of the bench, I've got a handy backstop. And sadly, after sleeping on it, I've decided it's probably a good idea, which unfortunately means another couple of hours at it. But yeah, I can do it. So here we are, finally. All I need to do now is 1 or 2 days sanding everything, just getting a nice finish on it. I've bought varnish, there's more filling, more black painting to do, but essentially I have a usable workbench and storage for most of my tools, with the exception of power tools. I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. I think that my last minute idea of this backstop will turn out to be pretty useful in the future. If not, it's not really doing any harm. I've got all of my tools semi-organised, I just need to label everything up properly. When I have a job, in the house, in the garden, wherever, I can just take the tools and be on my merry way. It's going to be quite nice. We've already seen we've got the sliding tool storage, which has already been useful even when finishing the build. As soon as it went in, started using it, it could be one of the best ideas I've ever had. I mean, there's not a lot of best ideas there to compete with it, so I'm going with that for now. But ultimately, what did it cost? It wasn't as free as I would have hoped. So, starting on the thing which I forgot to write on the list, this rough sawn timber, about 50 quid. Wheels, 16 quid. Screws, 11 quid. Fence paint, 20 quid. Filler, 20 quid. Storage boxes, my cheap solution, 100 quid. Hinges, 5 quid. Drawer slides, 18 quid. Sanding discs, 8 quid. So that takes us to roughly 250 quid up to now to build my free workbench. But wait, there is more. Because I made such a mess sanding for 2 days, it was coating absolutely everything. I had to buy a vacuum specifically for my workshop. That cost me 90 additional quid. So that puts us on about 340, I think. 340 quid spent for a free workbench and 2 additional days spent cleaning up the free plywood. Now, if I didn't use the free plywood, I would have used 2 brand new sheets of 18mm ply, which I had a quick look online, about 80 quid. Hopefully I could have got a better price, let's say 70 or 80 quid. Wouldn't have needed to buy a full box of sanding discs and wouldn't have had to buy a vacuum. So it would have probably come in 2 days less effort and about 20 quid cheaper overall. So yeah, an absolute bargain. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it more than I did. I've been Dave, signing off. See you next time. Sawing noises which aren't mine. Shocking.